Oh my God. There was just a glitch and it wouldn't go live, and I had to switch everything off and switch everything on again. I'm here. That was a tense moment, but it's probably Mercury still in its shadow, in its retrograde shadow. But the good news is it comes out of that on Wednesday, Thursday. So that is good news. And hi, guys. I'm just having a quick look at your chat. And Laurie, I know you said you hoped I'd got something good to say. Listen, this week's quite interesting. I did a couple of astrobites today for tomorrow's and for Tuesdays. And the energy it's going to speed up midweek, like Thursday, really, because of the fact that Mercury is coming out of its retrograde. So that's going to be quite a big thing. So what's happened to see me? You're very hot there. Yeah. Oh, grass fires. That's horrible. Oh gosh. And Andy, you've said you've got very hot weather. So have we down here in Gozo. It's the humidity that really gets me. It's horrible. But anyway, how is everyone? And I'm sorry we're a bit late starting, but the it just went live stream not available. So I was kind of a little bit kind of like FUCKED, basically, because we can't say those kind of things here. Daniela, hi, nice to see you. And Cosmic BL, good to see you. Right, well, let's see what's happening this week. What I've done is I've brought up the chart for today. And remember to stick around to the end because you will get the word for the week. Well, it's a short phrase for the week ahead. But more about that coming up because I have a plan and I had an idea about what to do for the astrobites for the coming weeks. So here we go. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. You've made a live. Yes, well done. Okay, today, and I don't know how today has been for any of you that are in the kind of more European time zone, but for you lot in America, you guys over there across the pond in the west coast of Canada, west coast of the United States, the day is just beginning. So good morning, grab a coffee, sit down, get comfortable. Let's get this show on the road, eh? And the day has started off with a really tough energy between the Sun in Virgo and Saturn retrograde in Pisces. What does this mean? Well, what happens? Detroit, great. Okay, fantastic. Oh, see me, you've got a big cup of tea. I'm afraid, very boring. I have water. So let me tell you about this transit, because for us today here in the east, eastern, well, Europe, okay, it's been a funny day. It's been very quiet for me. And Mercury is coming up to the anaretic degree of Leo and is going to move into Virgo later this week. And it's really interesting because, of course, when the sun is in Virgo, we can get into overthinking and trying to make sure everything is detailed and the T's crossed and the I's dotted. So it's always a little bit kind of, can be a bit angsty because Virgo is quite an anxious sign. Now, the sun, of course, is the center of our solar system. So in a sense, it is our heart, our soul. It's the beating heart of our solar system. And it rules Leo, of course, where Mercury is. Now, Mercury, our planet of communication, rules Virgo, and also rules Gemini. So it's like, Mercury is going to come up and do a swap and take over its leadership of Virgo and the Virgo energy. I don't know if any of you have been tidying out drawers, cupboards, wardrobes, things like that, because great energy with the sun in Virgo to do that. And today you could be quite drastic if you haven't done it and you feel like doing it, because this Sun-Saturn opposition can really, really kind of stretch things to almost a breaking point, because the Sun retrograde in Pisces is, as you know, trying to give form to the formless. So it may be that there are things happening in your life, maybe around communication, maybe around relationships, that are not kind of gelling or making sense. And what happens is Saturn, even though it's in this tight opposition, so the energies are kind of pulling against each other, Saturn is trying to give some structure to your thinking and thought, which may be a little bit kind of, actually, I was going to say paranoid, because I think Mercury in Leo, especially coming up to the anaretic degree, can be a little bit dramatizing the situation. So if there are situations in your life that you're waiting for results, trying to resolve certain situations, then what happens is Mercury in Leo makes it all a bit dramatic and makes you think or see things that aren't there. So, oh, is Torin not well, Andy? I'm sorry to hear that. He's got a fever. Oh, gosh. But Andy, you're a Virgo moon. Okay, so you're really feeling this Virgo energy at the moment. And of course, the moon today is in Scorpio. And the moon is interestingly making a trine to Saturn that is retrograde in Pisces. So we do have some kind of, this is like, you don't believe everything you think. So you could be with the sun in Virgo doing the overthinking. And what's this, Eris? Your sick partner is making a production out of being sick. Yeah, they do. Man flu, that's what happens. And, you know, that's what happens. And I do hope Torin gets better soon, Andy. Just sending love and light and healing, of course. And this moon trining Saturn in Pisces is saying that don't let your thoughts get carried away with you, and because you may actually not be tuning in to your intuition in the way that you think you should be. So even though the moon in Scorpio can get you deep down into those kind of murky depths of Scorpio, it may be that because there's a building trine with the part of fortune in Gemini, which is all about communication, and this could be triggering a bit of unrealistic thinking. So try and make sure that you see things and look at things in a realistic way. Let's see astrologically what else we've got going on today before I go through the rest of the week. So, of course, we've got this lovely, what you might call a kind of minor Earth. Well, it's not an Earth trine. Yes, it isn't. Well, we've got a trine between Uranus retrograde and Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. So Uranus is in Taurus and Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn, doing the tidying up in the departments of your life that need some attention. You know, remember, Virgo is also about our daily routine. And it sounds like if there's a little bit of ill health around, which can also be Virgo, that your routine is getting disrupted by this Saturn Sun opposition. So that may well be, Andy, what has brought in this fever for Taurin and anyone else that is feeling under the weather or not well. So I'm just seeing what you're saying here, Andy. Now that's interesting. You're talking about chaos and anxiety. You'll see, because that's going to be one of my words for the week, anxiety. So we'll come to that later. Anyway, coming back to this, yeah, we might not be feeling great today. You know, it's interesting. One of my cats woke me up this morning, as he often does. His name is Spoticus, because he's actually what they call a cow cat. He's mostly white with big black blobs on him. So he looks like Daisy the cow. And he always wakes me up no later than 7:30, which I believe for cats is quite good, because some of them come 4 o'clock in the morning. Hello. How about us waking up at the same time? How cool is that? No. And so I got up and fed him, did a little bit of preparation for tonight and for the week ahead and the Astro Bites. And I thought, I think I just need to go and lie down for a while. Do you know, I went back to bed and slept for 3 hours. I can't believe it. I was so tired. I was just absolutely, and I feel so much better for it. Because all of last week, and I don't know how, please let me know in the chat how you were last week, because I was definitely into overthinking situations, ruminating, looking for all the negatives rather than staying in that positive kind of frequency and living what I teach. You know, it's so difficult to always walk one's talk. And what I love to do is show you my vulnerabilities, because I think sometimes astrologers, readers, teachers, speakers, we see them up there doing their stuff, strutting their stuff as if they got it all together, you know. You know, we haven't. Nobody has. Not all the time. It's not humanly possible. And I do think that is an important thing to bring in at this point. It's also reminding me that I wanted to, one day, I don't know whether it was last week, it might have been during the beginning of the week, I talked about prediction. And I just wanted to expand on that a bit, because astrology is not really about prediction. And for that matter, neither are tarot readings, psychic readings, or any of these modalities. What a reader or an astrologer does is tune into the energies presented by the medium they choose to use, be it an astrological map, a set of cards, a crystal ball. And of course, we have this preoccupation with wanting to know the future. And you know, on one level, why? If we're constantly worrying about what's going to happen, we're not living and enjoying what is happening. There is only now. There is only now. And that's one of the reasons I love astrology and work with astrology. And I just want to underline this again, that astrology gives you a map, if you like, of different timelines that you have a choice of walking down or not. Because my sense is that there are many of us on many different timelines. And if we're tuned into that frequency, we can almost see ourselves or catch ourselves shifting from one timeline to the next, we'll suddenly notice something in the room is slightly different. And we think, I didn't put that there. And it's not dementia. I noticed it tonight because I've been working hard all day on lifting my personal vibration to a higher frequency of positive energy and belief in positive outcomes that will be for the highest good of myself, the highest good of the people involved in the situations I think about, and the highest good of all. And I went into my room to get myself ready to do the live tonight. And I thought, how did that wire get wound around the bottom of the dressing table? And in that absolute instant, I thought, all that positive thinking I've been doing today, concentrating on lifting my vibration, has shifted me onto the timeline where it'll be much easier to see the positive results coming from the situations in my life that I personally have been thinking about. Also, I have really been working on, and this is interesting, and I think it's something. Hi, Louise, good to see you here. And Leah Kate, good to see you here. And I am coming back to the astrology, but I think it's really important to look at this thing about timelines and frequency, because I was, or I have been practicing to take myself down into that, I think it's a theta state of the brain, but don't quote me because I might be wrong on this, where you're not really asleep, but you're not awake. And time goes like that. And yet you come out of that state incredibly rested. And I've been practicing trying to get my consciousness onto that level. And I think with Pluto, when it moves back into Aquarius in November the 19th, that energy will support all of us really working hard on raising our consciousness. There are, and I don't know if this is a conversation I had or whether it was a comment I left on somebody, but I think everybody that is alive today is here to learn about the raising of their own personal consciousness, to get to a state, to get to a higher frequency where we are able to see down the different timelines, which is really what astrology shows us. It shows us a map of the most probable timeline we might take with the current transits. And then it's up to us, because you know what we have? Choice. Because we can have the most amazing set of transits in our chart. This chart I've got in front of me now, that is a point in time for today, has Uranus conjunct the midheaven, retrograde in Taurus. Uranus rules Aquarius. Uranus is about innovative ideas. It's actually, another interpretation of Uranus can be the raising of our consciousness, the opening up of our channels to tune in to these higher frequencies where we are able to predict what will happen if we choose to go down this particular timeline. So it's as if it's giving us suddenly multiple choice. And I think that how that will work with AI will be in a kind of combination of our human DNA linking in on some level I don't understand, that gets us into this state where we can really see and connect with a soul family like we are doing today on these Sunday evenings. And this Uranus conjunct the midheaven means today, if you do but one thing, do something that is good for the highest good of all, for the collective. Be outspoken with something. Exercise your right of free speech. Be a little bit rebellious if you're not normally rebellious. Do all of those things, because the energy is saying it will be heard. It will get heard. And this energy also, Uranus sextiles, which is a really helpful aspect. It sextiles Neptune retrograde in Pisces. And Neptune is conjunct what we call the vertex, which is the 0 degree of Aries and what is known as the world axis. It's a trigger point. Today, and setting the tone for the whole week, is an incredibly powerful day energetically, even though on the surface, when I looked originally at the transits, it didn't seem like it. Yes, guys, be outspoken, say it how it is. You know, life's too short not to have those conversations. It really is. We have to say it how it is now. Now, I'm moving on to Monday and tomorrow, and there will be an Astrobite on my channel because I've just uploaded it. And the moon will be in Sagittarius. So I think we will start the week tomorrow feeling a lot more vibrant and relaxed and a bit cheeky and funny, because Sagittarius is full of fun. You know, it's ruled by Jupiter. And so I think we'll be really kind of enjoying the energy of the moon in Sagittarius. It isn't the best placement for the moon, I hasten to add, because that fiery energy and that mutability is too, it doesn't give the moon enough containment. You know, remember the moon rules Cancer. It's used to being in the crab shell and kind of going within with its energy, whereas the moon in Sagittarius is putting the energy out there. Mercury, our planet of communication, moves back into Virgo tomorrow. And it's only 2-3 days later, it moves out of its shadow. That is going to be such a relief. I'm just going to leap ahead a minute to tell you when it moves out of its shadow. It moves out on Wednesday the 11th, crossing over to Thursday the 12th. And once Mercury comes out of its shadow, it's in new territory. So if you have been waiting for information, news, you haven't heard from somebody, you're just waiting to hear something important, or you're waiting for important documents or letters or parcels, then midweek sees that energy finally shift so that we actually can feel, thank goodness, we can breathe again. there is another retrograde, well, there always is, but it's not till the end of the year. So we really don't have to worry about that now. So Tuesday, the moon is in Sagittarius, and I talk about the minor aspects in the Astrobite, so I'm not going to talk about them here. Otherwise, you won't watch the Astrobites. But I will give you a little clue and a taster as to what the word of the day is. Now, first of all, the word of the day for Monday, so this will hopefully tempt you into watching them, is projection. Say no more. And then the word for Tuesday is anxiety. That's always quite a popular one. And then we get on to Wednesday, and I'm nearly there. I'm just going through the information about anxiety. Okay, so Wednesday, the moon is in Sagittarius still. Mercury is out of shadow. And I've got a great word for Wednesday: transference. So they're all actually linking in with the word or phrase for the week ahead. And I'll let you know what the word or the two words for the week ahead are now, because it will help you understand the context into why I'm choosing the words I'm choosing for each day. So the word for the week ahead, or the phrase for the week ahead, is self-development, self-awareness. And so I've chosen words that promote self-awareness, because I just thought, I've got all this learning and teaching and information in me. I should be teaching it, not just astrology. And, I love doing it. And it never hurts for any of us, including myself, to go over old ground. And we re-understand things again when we start looking at all these ways of looking. Oh, Parry's here. Great. Good to see you here, Parry. And so that's the word for Wednesday. Then Thursday. Right. Now, by Thursday, the moon has moved into Capricorn. Now, the moon in Capricorn is in what is known as its fall, because it's opposite the sign that it rules. It rules Cancer. And when a planet is opposite the sign it rules, when it's in it, it's known as being in its detriment or in its fall. It's at its weakest potency. So the moon in Capricorn feels very restricted. Remember, Saturn rules Capricorn, so we have that structure and rules and boundaries. And we also have, with this energy, of course, Mercury is coming out of shadow. So we've got some good news and some challenging news. And I'm going to just get up a chart for Thursday, which is quite important, because we actually have a very important, hang on, where are we going? Here we're going. So I'm looking for, where am I looking for? Sun. Here we go. Sun square Jupiter. Right. So on the 12th of September, which is, what's it today? Sunday's the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. Oh, I can't work it out. Whatever the 12th of September is. Hang on, let me have a look. I'll tell you. Oh, it's Thursday. Okay. I have the attention span of a goldfish. I just I think of something and it's gone within absolutely. Venus will be sitting on the ascendant. Nice, nice, very nice. If you've got Venus on your ascendant. Now, this chart I've got up is for the Sun square Jupiter. So let's just have a think, because this is quite big, important energy. The Sun is in Virgo. So we know that the Sun in Virgo can make us a little bit edgy, a little bit angsty, a little bit kind of seeing things perhaps out of proportion, never quite completing a job, starting one thing and then moving on to another project, looking at our calendar, rearranging our diary, rearranging it yet again. And then on top of all of that, we're worrying about our health. So it's squaring Jupiter in Gemini. Jupiter is our planet of luck, optimism, and expansion, and opportunity. It's in Gemini, which is an air sign. So it has this ability to expand our thinking. Now, what we have to be careful is it doesn't expand it in a way that is not good for our health, where we overthink, because it's a square to the sun. So we have to be careful it doesn't overthink, doesn't give us that overthinking kind of energy. There is a helpful sextile on the same day from Mercury at 4 degrees of Virgo, just out of its shadow, and that is sextiling Mars in Cancer. Mars, our god of war, action, energy, assertion, the body. And so that kind of takes some of the pressure off this Sun-Jupiter energy. I think we have to be careful that day we don't overcompensate. We don't overcompensate at work. We don't say too much. We don't get... it's a bit like when I do these lives and I get myself down a rabbit hole and I think, here I am. How on earth do I get myself out of this particular rabbit hole? Oh, well, I can say moving swiftly on and get out of it that way. So that's the kind of thing that can go on with this kind of energy. Jupiter, of course, though, is about opportunity. And there's something here about through hard work and effort, because Jupiter is in the 7th house of significant relationships, communication can take place on Thursday, especially because Mercury is in Virgo, out of its shadow, with somebody important in your life, be it partner, friend, loved one, family member, whatever it is, business partner. An important conversation can take place that brings about some healing. So that is really, really helpful. So that's Thursday. Also, the moon, which remember is in Capricorn, makes a trine to Mercury in Virgo, and at the same time is in opposition to Mars in Cancer. So we've got this kind of... So Thursday basically is quite an energetic day astrologically. It's a day to keep your wits about you. It really is also a day, don't react, don't overspeak it, don't overthink it, don't overdo what might come up in conversations that happen around the energy of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Really be mindful about how you work and deal with others, because you could get yourself in a mess and end up... It's like Snakes and Ladders, which was a game we used to have as children in the UK. I don't know if you had it on the other side of the pond, but you threw the dice and you either went up the ladder or you slid down a snake. And Thursday's a day where you might overcook what you're trying to say. So be selective with your words, hold back, because otherwise you're going down that snake back to the beginning of the week again and having to wait it out until the energy is again favorable for you to revisit this conversation and do it differently with mindfulness and responding gently rather than overreacting. So that's quite a lot going on Thursday, isn't it? Yes, Leah, you're going to need to leave yourself some sticky notes for later this week. I think we all are. I'm going to have them stuck all over the place. I'm going to have them on my phone, note for the day. Don't overspeak. Don't react. Just respond. Just smile and go, yes, lovely. That's great. So Cosmic BL, Snakes and Ladders, that reflects the energies of the past week for me. Well, we're still going to have a bit of that this week as well, I'm afraid. So it's not kind of shifted much in that. But coming back to Thursday, what was the word I had for Thursday? Oh, the word I've got for Thursday is actually insight. We haven't really had that. We've had intuition. I don't think we've had insight. Let me know in the chat if you remember that. So, and use the highlighters. Yes, Laurie, definitely. Let's look at Friday because, we've got a Friday the 13th. You're not frightened, are you? No, don't be. Listen, it's okay. It's just that we've attached a certain kind of energy to the number 13. And the power of beliefs is that if we believe it's going to be a bad day, we will attract that to us. You know how it works. Think positive, think good positive thoughts. Say, let the energies for me today be positive for the highest good of myself and the highest good of others. Go through your day, and you know what? All will be well. The moon is still in Capricorn on Friday, and you're going to love Friday's word. A longer video on this, but perhaps what I'll do is just give you the headlines with this one. I've got 2 stonking good words for the end of the week. So Friday's narcissism. Then let you think that about that one. Saturday, again, no particularly kind of important aspect, but I will do it in the Astrobite. The moon will have moved out of Capricorn into Aquarius, so we'll be more focused on the community at large, higher frequencies. Yes, I agree, Yarrow. 3 + 1 = 4. Balance, harmony, Libra. And the 4th house in astrology is Cancer. Home, family, really good things. So anyway, wait till you hear what the word is for Saturday, because I think this is something that has become a real problem of the most recent years of technology because of social media and the fact that we have these fixed to our hands all the time. There's a picture of George. Isn't he lovely? I wish I could actually get them in the video, but unfortunately they won't come and sit on me. But there we go. They all come up after I've finished. Anyway, word for Saturday. Gaslighting. We have to look at this word because it's not just reserved for the youth. It can happen to everyone and anyone, same sex, opposite sex, same gender, different genders. It's absolutely universal. Countries probably even gaslight each other. So that is going to be the word for Saturday. Now I'm coming back. So the week ahead in general is, yes, think of snakes and ladders. And it might be a little bit 2 steps forward, 1 back. Have faith, trust that the cosmos is slowing you down for a reason. Trust that any obstacles that are put in your path are there for a very good reason. And you know what? All will be well. So this phrase I've got for the week ahead is self-awareness. And self-awareness is not about narcissism. Self-help, self-thinking, selfish behavior. You know, the word selfish has a very negative connotation, which it doesn't need. Sometimes we have to be selfish in a healthy way to preserve our energy, our integrity, our space, our character, our beliefs. So that self-awareness is an incredibly important part of our journey through life. And if you've never done it on a kind of in a professional way through, say, self-development workshops, or being in therapy with a good therapist, or being in counseling with a good counselor, or a coach, or a life coach, or a business coach, you know, it doesn't matter what age you are, but it's really, really helpful to explore yourself through talking to a professional, another. And you know, I still have someone I talk to. I still have my therapist. They've changed throughout the years, but I need that. I need that person that is there for me once every 2 weeks, for me to just know that this person is there for me and I can say what I want, say it how it is, and be heard and listened to. And so self-awareness really is incredibly important. And as I said, I think there is something very positive about being selfish. Sometimes we have to put up boundaries, which someone might say, oh, they're so selfish. They just won't let me come, or won't let me join in, or won't let me this, or won't let me that. We have to look after ourselves. There is a healthy form of being selfish. It's like with, it's like with my booking in clients, for instance. If I wanted to be a doormat or a pushover, I'd have 8 clients a day, make an absolute fortune, and be in a loony bin by the end of the week, because I can't do it. It's too much. I don't think I could have even done it when I was 20. And I couldn't have done it when I was 20 because I didn't have the life experience. And so there's something so important about setting the right boundaries. I mean, we've had the word boundaries, and setting the right boundaries for ourselves is so important. And this week, I think when Mercury goes out of shadow, there's going to be a sense of, whoa, we let go. And that some of those boundaries will become a bit loose again. And I think it's interesting that the moon is going to be in Capricorn until Saturday, as if to say, keep those boundaries in place. Don't let all the good work you've done get spoiled. So with this word self-awareness, that's why I decided to choose the words that I've chosen for each Astro Bite this coming week. Now, I have some quotes that I think really explain self-awareness. Now, I get these off Chat GPT or GPT Chat or whatever it's called, which is wonderful. Anyway, so here's one from Carl Gustav Jung, who was one of the grandfathers of psychotherapy and psychoanalysis. One of my trainings was as a Jungian therapist. So what Carl Jung said was, your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. He who looks inside awakes. Socrates said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." And someone called Lawrence Bossady, that I'm afraid I've not heard of, self-awareness gives you the capacity to learn from your mistakes as well as your successes. It enables you to keep growing. I love that. Virginia Woolf, without self-awareness, we are as babies in the cradles. Never a truer word. And I love this one by Marianne Williamson. Self-awareness, this is what I've just been saying actually, self-awareness is not self-centeredness. And spirituality is not narcissism. Know thyself is not a narcissistic pursuit. Know thyself was written over the archway into the oracle at Delphi. Ralph Ellison said, "When I discover who I am, I'll be free." And Veronica Tugaliva said, "To know yourself, you must sacrifice the illusion that you already do." Debbie Ford said, "Self-awareness is the ability to take an honest look at your life without any attachment to it, being right or wrong, good or bad." Toni Collette said, "The better you know yourself, the better your relationship with the rest of the world." How true is that? If only it was compulsory for students in school or in, college to have at least one session a week of coaching, counseling, therapy to get to know themselves. That's probably why a lot of students choose psychology to study. That's one of the reasons I chose to train in psychotherapy, because I thought I might understand myself better. And you know what? I'm still working on it. We're always a work in progress. And then we have to finish with Aristotle. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. So there is something about the importance of self-reflection, personal growth, and that journey to understand oneself that is so key to life. And within the energy of this week, which is on some level still a bit challenging and a bit 2 steps forward, 1 step back, we are still going forwards. Remember, we're always going forwards. And there is always a solution to everything that you might be fretting about today, because everything always does have a resolution of one way or the other. We don't always like the answer we get, but it makes us strong, we grow, and we survive, and we learn. So, okay, guys, let's have a little look at what you've all been talking about. Yes, see me, learning to laugh at yourself. We're not perfect. Humor is universal, absolutely. And I like Susan Fabian, vitamin P. I like that, thank you. Oh, bless you guys. And yes, Parry, it's a gift for learning to live harmoniously and joyously, self-care through awareness, nurturing ourselves. Yes, Parry, survival techniques. Yes, we are always a work in progress. And, I fully expect when I lie on my deathbed if I'm aware that I'm on my deathbed, because I might not know, but if I am, that I'll be thinking, so that was it, was it? Wonder what happens next. So there we go. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful Sunday if it's the start of your Sunday. Thank you so much for joining me here in the live chat. It's lovely seeing so many of you here. So hi, Steve. Good to see you here. It's good, as always, to see all you lovely soul fam here. By the way, I am on TikTok, and that's an interesting platform. I'm not sure they quite get my astrobites yet, but one day I'll get like 20 views and another day I get 1,020. It's quite bizarre. But I've found some very good readers on there. There are some excellent tarot readers. One in particular, a young lady with beautiful black hair and a fringe called Alex does tarot. So, you know, if you're looking for some interesting videos to watch on TikTok, head on over there. Anyway, my loves, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the morning in another Astro Bite, and have a great week. And I'll be back next Sunday for yet another live weekly forecast ahead. How cool is that? Bye for now. Bye, guys.